Fierce Grace. Fierce Grace is a short dance film produced by Stopgap Dance Company. Set against the breathtaking backdrop of Holy Trinity Church, one of the largest Georgian churches in Surrey, in southeast England, the film explores the sacred power of shared movement. In the quiet reverence of the church, both disabled and non-disabled dancers come together to reimagine and reshape the iconography of the past. As the beat builds, they break free, losing themselves in the revelation of a new spirituality. One dancer, however, seems trapped by the judgment of onlookers, torn between purity and self-expression. Through touch, connection, and collective motion, Fierce Grace celebrates unity, revealing the profound beauty of dancing as one. The film begins with interior shots of the church. A Grade 1 listed building. At its centre is a vast open space with a balcony at one end and the altar at the other. The central open area, called the nave, cleared of seating, features a black and white checkered stone floor, with an iron grate running down its centre. Stained glass windows and high ceilings fill the space with light, while dark wooden panels along the lower walls add warmth without heaviness. At the far end of the church, which is featured throughout the film, is the chancel, an area raised from the floor by stone steps that holds the altar. It's separated from the nave and framed by 3 large archways. A decorative wrought iron screen across the edges of the central archway adds a striking detail. Above the altar, there is a large domed ceiling, adorned with rich red and gold paintings, depicting the crucifixion. Incense burners catch the light where they are suspended above the altar, which is a large raised platform decorated in wooden panelling with elaborate gold detailing. The whole chancel and altar area giving an impression of decadence and opulence. At the opposite end of the nave, there is the balcony, used as a choir loft during services. In opposition to the altar area, it is plainly decorated and made of dark oak pews overlooking the central area. At one point during the film, 4 dancers sit here in quiet observation. The film opens with slow, serene movement. The dancers are all dressed in neutral-toned costumes, plain tops and trousers in different tones of pink, beige and brown. As one dancer breaks the stillness with a breath, the pace quickens, and they move into the central nave area, transforming the space into a frenzied dance floor. As the dancers enter into a section where they rave and dance freely, coloured orbs of light pulse across the screen, and the dancers have changed to modern streetwear, creating a striking contrast with the classical setting. One by one, the 8 dancers appear on screen, each posing against the same backdrop of dark, polished wood panelling. Nadan, a British Cambodian wheelchair dancer, with light brown skin and a shaved head with a dark brown ponytail. Alice, a white non-disabled woman with long, light brown hair. Christian, a white, non-disabled man with short dark hair and a trimmed beard. Monique, a black, British Caribbean, short-statured woman who dances in a manual wheelchair. Emily, an East Asian non-disabled woman with shoulder-length straight black hair. Yannick, a white man with light brown short hair and beard. Abby, a white non-disabled woman with curly, chin-length brown hair. And Hannah, a white person with Down syndrome and straight blonde hair. A title appears in bold orange letters. Fierce Grace. Above the altar, staring up in wonder at the decorated domed ceiling, gold details catching the light, a serene reverence, a sense of a stranger among the sacred. A panel of stained glass, light bringing colours to life. A statue of a figure reclined, wearing a flowing robe, contours of stone crease and ripple. A hand on a shoulder, fingertips against bare skin. Nadan curves his arm to Hannah, She rests her cheek in his palm and they gently shift position, limbs and bodies crisscrossing the frame. At the heart of the church, clustered before the altar, framed by the high arches, the dancers hold still, statues of flesh and bone. Drawn towards these living statues, Nadan breaks the stillness, his body moving with rhythm as he throws his head forwards, eyes glittering. Releasing his brakes, he pulls back and turns with a sweeping arm that pulls him to the floor. His wheel spins, peering through the flickering spokes at Yannick, dancing by the altar, in a trance. Christian joins him as they turn together and sprint forwards, leaping high into the air. Their pace urgent, they burst into the nave. Nadan pushes through two pews as Christian and Yannick leap over them. All three dive to the floor, faces pressing into the stone tiles. They rise and begin orbiting each other. Yannick sprints around the edge as Christian and Nadan clasp hands, creating an anchor point as Nadan rolls around in a wide arc. Releasing hands, Nadan wheels to Yannick and pushes off from his knee, spinning backwards, hands touching the floor to guide his motion. The trio closely weave in and out of one another, spinning and ducking like a game of hide and seek. Nadan and Christian clasp hands again and spin as Yannick sprints around them, waiting for the perfect moment. He dashes between them, ducking under their arms. He keeps sprinting and dives through once again. Transported to the balcony, where 4 women watch, looking down knowingly like ancient muses, but their sportswear pulls them into the here and now. A brief flash of the group pulsing together beneath them. The muses watch, absorb, visions of what's to come, a group raving, moving as one. They dance freely, caught in the rhythm of the service. All eyes draw to Hannah in the centre. The others expand and contract around her. Hannah pulses her chest, beating out a steady rhythm. Time slows as they move, like that moment in the club where you slip into another realm. Hannah shakes her hips, a signal to the group. They pump their arms encircling her. Palms raise as they dip side to side. Hannah stomps onwards, palms upturned, continuing her rhythm. The group pauses, then reforms around her, returning to the tangle of bodies they began with. Hannah looks upwards as we draw closer and closer to her face, pulsing her chest to the steadily fading beat. She sees the muses watching her from above. Hannah stares straight ahead. Was it all in her mind? The dancers around her have returned in their neutral tones, breathing heavily. Their chests rise and fall. Fierce Grace was a creative project managed by Stopgap's future leaders, with Monique Jarrett as Assistant Artistic Director and Annie Rose Grantham as Assistant Producer, in collaboration with Stopgap. Choreography and direction, Lucy Bennett, Monique Jarrett. Dancers and collaborators, Christian Brinklow, Monique Jarrett, Emily Lu Fong, Yannick Moth, Nadan Poen, Hannah Sampson, Alice Shepperson, and Abby Thompson. Composer and sound designer, Dougie Evans. Digital artist and creative captions, Ben Glover. Videographer and editor, Floyd C. Conde. Audio describer and access artist, Lily Norton. Costume and stylists, Brian Dawson-Late, Lucy Bennett and Monique Jarrett in collaboration with the dancers. Hair and makeup stylist, Monique Jarrett. Producer, Annie Rose Grantham. Stopgap professional placement student, Olivia Millen. Audio description consultant, Mandy Redvers-Rowe. Stock media provided by Ashley Cooper, Pond 5. For Stopgap, Co-Artistic Directors Lucy Bennett and Laura Jones. Executive Producer Lucy Glover. Administrator and Future Leaders Coordinator Amy Owen. Assistant Artistic Director Monique Jarrett. And Assistant Producer Annie Rose Grantham. Supported using public funding by Arts Council England. The space was provided in kind by Holy Trinity Church. Stopgap Dance Company.